Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to all the Pisces out there. If you are a Pisces sun, moon, rising, or north node, this is your tarot reading for the upcoming month of March of 2025, the end of Pisces season. In case any of you are interested, I will be using my Midnight Magic Mushroom Tarot deck, which I just feel like this deck embodies Pisces energy. So if you guys are readers out there, I definitely recommend this one for you. But with all of that said, let's see what you guys have in store for March. Right, Pisces. Lots of reversed energy here. So the first group of cards fell out kind of all together. And with that, we have the Nine of Cups reversed, represented by the Water Club mushroom, a little frogger on there. Five of Wands upright, the orange pinwheel. Ace of Cups reverse, which is the fluted bird's nest fungus. Love that. The moon reversed, Eastern jack-o'-lantern. The hanged man reverse with velvet shank. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Wands. And the Five of Swords is under the Ace of Wands. And especially with the Five of Wands out here, I feel like that one is relevant as well. But under the Five of Swords, we also have the Nine of Pentacles. So a little bit of a little bit of positivity there with that Nine of Pentacles energy. So my first instinct with all of the reverse energy is I want to rearrange the spread. My first instinct with all of the reverse energy is that either you are purposefully trying to overcomplicate something you are trying to understand, or alternatively, if it's not purposefully, you're just unconsciously complicating what's right in front of you. And it's because you're wrapped up in some sort of external conflict, something outside of yourself. Um, And through that conflict with the Five of Swords as well, there's also deceit in that. So there's some treachery going on, Pisces, and this treachery is actually keeping you from feeling emotionally fulfilled and satisfied with where you are right now. And it's also preventing you from stepping into some sort of new beginning that would help you find that satisfaction. It almost feels like you might feel like you're running and through your running you think you're going far, but if you zoom out from like just your face, imagine it like a movie scene. Like we just see somebody's face and they're like, we can just see this part of their body. We can't see anything going on around them. And so they're working really hard, but in their mind, they think they're running like out somewhere in an open expanse, just making progress towards their destination. But if you zoom out, not only are they on a treadmill, there's also somebody standing in the shadows behind them, like with a lasso around them to make sure, even on the treadmill, they don't get far. So it's like there's two layers of deceit here. If you guys know the story of I Am the Cheese, that's kind of like what it is. And I don't want to, if I tell you the premise of that story, I will reveal like the twist essentially. If you don't know that story, I definitely recommend it. It's messed up, but I feel like you guys would appreciate it. Pisces. But that's kind of like the energy I'm getting here. It's like somebody or something outside of you has created this mirage that you are unconsciously allowing yourself to be deceived by it. And the weirdest part is that, like, you don't even like where you are in relation to this external conflict. Like, you feel like there, you can feel the tension in it. But again, you think you running is you running away from it, but it's just keeping you in place. So it's a little weird. It's a little weird. And especially with the Hanged Man and the Moon reverse on this side, like you are completely disconnected from the unconscious tendencies that are holding you in place. Like you like your conscious mind and your unconscious mind are There's like a fissure in between them. And the Hanged Man reverse tells me that as much as you like, the more you try to run, the more you stay in place. And I think what you need to be doing right now is being still, even in the midst of deceit and conflict, and reconnecting to your unconscious mind, reconnecting to your subtle energy bodies, because you're so focused outside of yourself right now, which is why it's easy for you to fall into deceit, why you're not feeling connected to your emotional fulfillment or satisfaction or anything, because you are too focused outside of yourself. And so if you learn to take this energy of the reversal hanged man and flip it upside down and just be where you are, even through the discomfort of the conflict and of the deception, learn to be where you are and sit with it rather than trying to run away from it. Because the more you try to run away from it, the more disconnected you're becoming to your unconscious, or to your subconscious, to your intuition, to all of those again, those subtle energies that exist within us. And Pisces, you guys exist on your subtle energy. So this is something that's really, really imperative that you get a hold of. And as much as you might be listening to this saying, girl, you don't even know what's going on externally. Like, there's no way I can take my energy and focus off of what's going on externally, because if I do, it's all going to explode. Like I am the only thing holding it together. That's exactly what this external situation wants you to believe. It's like it's keeping, there's a blue jay right outside, right in front of my face. It's keeping you trapped in this cycle because it's making you think you are the one responsible for holding everything together, even though this external energy, environment, person, situation, fill in the blank, even though they're the ones actually orchestrating everything. And there's been so much like subtle manipulation here through deceit and through conflict, where you've taken responsibility for what's going on outside of yourself. And so you then feel responsible for like leveling it back out. But the more you try, the farther the more unstable the foundation gets. The more you try, like the more you're just digging yourself into this hole of conflict, into this hole of deceit, and separating yourself. Like if we think about, the more you dig the hole, your conscious mind, your conscious awareness is going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper underground. And then like and the farther down you get, again, part of your part of your consciousness, part of your understanding, part of your energetic awareness still is at the surface. So the farther you dig yourself down trying to dig yourself out, you're becoming more and more separated from your own awareness. And again, that's keeping you from satisfaction, it's keeping you from new emotional fulfillment, it's keeping you from new beginnings. So the more you can just be still and be where you are, and even just try for 30 minutes to take your focus off of the external, off of the conflict, off of the disillusionment. That's the word. That's exactly what it is. It's disillusionment. The more you are able to be still and find that reconnection with your energy within, not even thinking about what's going on externally, the more you can be still, the more you are able to reconnect, the more you're able to see through the veil, see the truth of the external situations that you are kind of engulfed in right now, and be able to kind of, rather than try to sprint out of it, kind of just like take a step back with your full embodied self and move and like change your trajectory. So if you're on this line, you coming back into awareness with yourself will bump you over to this line, and then you move forward from there. Here, you can't move forward where you are. So it's stop trying to move forward, because you need to be with where you are right now rather than trying to run out of it or run away from it. And the more you are able to be and center yourself in this conflict, in this disillusionment, the more you'll be able to wake up from the trance it's got you under, change trajectory, and then move forward on the other side. And this is like quite a very physical movement in terms of like experience. So In all of the suits, wands are the ones that are all about actually experiencing life, going out and doing and being and traveling. And it's the fire energy of the tarot. So with Ace of Wands here, once you kind of move through that disillusionment, you do have the opportunity to start anew and experience something different. Not only something different, but something different, interesting, something different that can offer you more stability and the graciousness of being able to look at how far you've come and like and recognize how separated you allowed yourself to become, how disillusioned you allowed yourself to become, and and use that and keep it under your tool belt to then move towards more stability. So if anything similar were to come up like this in the future, again, whether it's a situation, a job, a relationship, whatever it may be, if something similar were to come into the future, you would now have the wisdom and the ability to see the stability and keep yourself on a trajectory that's moving towards more abundance for you rather than disillusionment. And going through the suits again, Pentacles is the most stable suit. Pentacles is the suit that's the most sure of itself. It has a level head. It's the earth energy. So with the Ace of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles being at the bottom of the deck, and then I'll tell you what was under the Nine of Pentacles in a second. If you're able to actually tap into the responsibility of coming back to yourself, you will be able to then shift your trajectory onto this Wands and Pentacles path of experience that will offer greater stability. You're still focused externally, but rather than focusing on external conflict, you then focus on external potential, external experience. And so while conflict and challenge does arise through experience at times, it's not the only thing you're engulfed in. And what's interesting is under the Nine of Pentacles is the Ten of Wands. So aside you being able to shift your trajectory, you're actually bringing a cycle that's brought a lot of burdens on your shoulders to an end. And now you would still have to work through releasing those burdens, but it is a good sign to know that the cycle is ending. But you're going to have to be still and put in the inner work to get there. And it's not even you're putting in the inner work to solve the conflict, you're putting in the inner work to recognize the conflict and just get out. Like you're not meant to solve whatever this conflict is. You're not meant you are meant to pull back the veil for yourself. But like if there are other people that are also being disillusioned by this, they're not your responsibility. So don't turn yourself into a martyr trying to also save the others. You can lead by example by ripping the veil back, taking the mask off, whatever you want to do, digging yourself out of that hole for yourself and just moving on and going forward on that other trajectory. You doing that on your own is going to help people that are in this situation. You are not meant to be the martyr to help get them out. You are meant to just, again, veil back, shift trajectory, move forward. They will see that and then they will rip the veil back themselves. But you are not meant to be a martyr for anybody else if there's anybody else in this in the same situation. That's important to be said because you're gonna be dealing with your own things. You're going to have to let go of your own things. You cannot take on the weight of somebody else's responsibility. And that's another thing you have to remember. It's each person has a responsibility to come back to themselves and figure stuff out for themselves and learn the lessons they're supposed to learn. So if you're on your own path doing that for yourself, you will naturally inspire others to do the same. Don't put yourself in the position to be a martyr. So, three of the tens came out, Pisces. We just talked about the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Cups fell out, which is a great sign, especially because we started with the Ace and the Nine of Cups reversed. The Ten of Cups fell out. We had the Two of Swords, the King of Cups. So the Ten and the King upright after we had the Ace and the Nine reverse. Great sign here, Pisces. Great sign. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Ten of Swords reverse, which is also a good sign here. So again, lots of energy of cycles ending. Lots of energy of cycles ending. And again, we had two aces as well. While one of the aces was reversed. Excuse me. Confirmation I got. One of the aces was reversed. We had the Ace of Wands upright. So not That's interesting too. As you change your trajectory to move towards that new beginning is actually what's triggering the ending of this cycle, which is very, very interesting. And so I think the 10 of cups and the king of cups are just here to kind of denote the emotional connection, the psychic connection, the emotional stability that is available to you if you come back into yourself, and not only stability, but emotional fulfillment and connection with those around you. The situation you're in right now is so volatile that there's no hope for like a 10 of cups energy with the people involved. So, like, like I was saying earlier, you're not supposed to make yourself a martyr in this situation. You're supposed to heal your or not even heal yourself because it's healing does play a part, but that's not what you should be focused on right now. You should be focused on just reconnecting with yourself and bringing back all of those like scattered pieces of yourself that have gone every which direction. Like this is giving like cult energy. And that's not going to be for everybody, but like this initial situation is very much giving cult. It's giving like mental manipulation, it's giving brainwashing. And that's kind of what I saw when I just mentioned how like different parts of yourself are scattered, and so being still can help you bring it in and like reconnect with your own energy and find that balance again to be able to move forward. Sometimes cults will like literally mentally abuse you to a point like they'll use drugs or psychiatrics like or just like hypnosis and ritual. And a big issue with how cults run is that they are meant to keep you imprisoned in a way. And so what they'll do, I'll use like psychedelic ritual for example. When you take psychedelics, especially like the really sacred medicine, they're all sacred to me, but like ayahuasca, peyote, those kinds of things where it's you need to do like a ritual ceremony in order to tap in. You need to be guided by a priest or some sort of guide. When those rituals are not closed at the end, you remain open to all sorts of susceptibility, which means that you can lose air quotes because you're always able to get parts of yourself back through deep, deep inner work, but you can temporarily lose parts of yourself. So if that sacred ritual was left open, think about it like your crown chakra. You open it up, get the messages like a little antenna, and then once you get your messages, close the crown chakra, because if you keep it open you remain susceptible not only to lose parts of yourself but also to have other parts that don't resonate come in, plant their little seeds, grip onto you like a little bug, and then end up controlling you through fear. And so that's what happens in cults is they don't properly close those channels. So you're slowly and steadily but surely losing your mind and relying on these people or these institutions or whatever it is to show you the way because you're so scared that you have become a shell of yourself that you need the guidance. And again, this isn't going to be like not everybody's in a cult that's watching this video, but like that's the best way I can describe the energy here. You are really allowing yourself by being still and being in the midst of conflict and disillusionment and discomfort. You're allowing those parts of yourself to come back so you can then close that channel, shift direction, and then move forward. And by doing that, setting off on that new beginning, you're closing the cycles that have been in place for however long it's been. And so think of it again, that's how I started talking about this is you can't have this 10 of cups energy with anybody in a cult. You can't have like classic friendships because everybody is so focused on appeasing big brother, right? That there's no community laterally. It's like this person's up here and then everybody else is connected by individual strings to this person or this group or this entity, but there's no strings connecting each other. That's how they set it up. But you stepping out of this, coming back to yourself, like allowing yourself to be guided by your intuition, by those subtle energy bodies once more, and clearing out what doesn't belong to you. You're opening yourself up for the ability to have community once again, to have emotional fulfillment with your loved ones and those that surround you. So there could be some sort of reunion with somebody that you have had in your life for a long time after you move away from whatever the situation is, or it's just unity in with new people and new friendships, and allowing you to rebuild that sense of trust that you may have lost in this situation because of the disillusionment. And then the King of Cups also shows you stepping into your own sense of emotional fulfillment. So you're taking your power back away from those entities that try to disconnect you from your emotions, that try to disconnect you from your senses. Because Pisces, you're a water sign. Your senses are your superpowers. Your feelings are your superpowers. And this situation separated you from that. So with the 10 of Cups and the King of Cups, you are coming back to yourself. You're coming back to your intuition. You're coming back to your emotions. You're coming back to recognizing your senses as the superpower that they are. And by doing that, by showing your senses and your feelings the respect they deserve, you are able to then more clearly make decisions for yourself. So Two of Swords, it's weighing two choices. And I love the Rider Waite symbolism of the Two of Swords because it's somebody that's standing blindfolded with two swords across their chest. And the symbolism here is that they are not using, like, the only sense they're using is their feeling and their logic and their knowing and their clairs, and we the blindfolds on because it's like this is not something you can see, it's something you have to feel into. So with the 10 of Cups and the King of Cups, you can trust yourself that you have the level-headedness, the emotional stability, the connection to your feelings, the connection to your mind rather than propaganda it's been fed, to then make the decisions moving forward. But it's not about, and again, you got yourself in this situation in the first place. Remember, the situation we talked about was all external. So you're seeing all of these things and trying to process all of this information outside of you. And so you may have unconsciously learned not to trust what you see. So that's why in moving forward, making decisions, at least for the time being, turn off your vision and turn on your other senses and trust that you can guide yourself to where you need to be. And this also wants to be said, if this is a situation that was dangerous that you got yourself out of, A, I applaud you. And I'm very, very proud of you. And B, get the help you need. You can't do everything on your own. Get the help you need, whether it's from a loved one or a licensed therapist or whatever it is, get the help you need. There's absolutely no shame in getting the help that you need in order to come back to yourself fully, in order to pull all of those parts of yourself back. But ultimately, Pisces, whatever the situation was, you coming back to yourself and being still in the discomfort is going to be what helps you finally escape. That was really deep, but it feels complete. And Pisces, of course, this was a general reading, so it's possible not everything resonated. I hope not everything resonated with just with everything we talked about, but um say I'm losing my train of thought now because the depth of this. Oh my goodness. Check out my website in the description below if you do want a personal reading for tarot, astrology, human design, or numerology. If you did like this reading, or if you appreciated it, I should say, um, maybe, hopefully, it will help you be able to come back into stillness and come back to yourself and move out of the situation. Um, yeah, leave me a comment. I don't know if you can message on YouTube, but if you can, I encourage that. You can also email me through my website as well if you just want to like talk about it. Um, I am open to that. I'm open to communicating that way. Um, if you want, I'm like, I've lost my, if you do want your forecast for the month ahead according to the tarot cards, subscribe to my channel as well. Again, Pisces, I honestly hope this didn't resonate as deeply as it feels. I love you guys, and I, yeah, I love you guys. Come back to yourself. Good luck.